Okay. Good morning. So today we are going to talk about Openvos scanning and doing those scaps that we were going to do last week. Basically, we did some very, very rudimentary setting up of servers, and we have our little environment that we were going to plan out. And as we build them, we need to scan them, we need to assess them to make sure that we're building them securely. So the idea is if we have something like Nessus or other scanning tools that we are willing to pay for, we can use those. But OpenVAS happens to be an open source version, so why not use that if it's available and you don't want to spend a lot of money. And we're going to get into other scanning solutions for things like in the development world, for doing static and dynamic code scans, but that's further down the road. We're going to continue to build these systems first. So I'm just going to start right in and work on installing OpenVAS. So there's a whole bunch of different ways, as always, but I'm going to just, go with whatever basic setup we have. First, I'll search for it in the repository. If you're using any Debian Linux-based system, it's probably going to be in the repository already. So you can probably just install it through that. Let's see. Apt install. Right, let's let that go, and we'll open up this while we're at it just to make sure. Let's see if there's some install guides, documentation. So when it comes to doing these scans, especially for more official systems, like if you're doing it for an organization or something like that, performing these scans is going to be a crucial part. So you're going to want to make sure that every single system that you have in your architecture is scanned by some sort of tool. You'll find that there's a lot of tools that are not you'll find there's going to be a lot of tools that a lot of devices that might not get proper scans or something like that, but at the end of the day, you can at least try. Some of them just need special configurations. For example, a network switch might not be able to get scanned through the normal means, but as long as it's a managed switch, you can scan it. And so there's a lot of different misconceptions about that. Similarly, if you have like a container, like a Docker system, some people think that the Docker can't be scanned and whatnot, and then that's just not true. It just depends on the configuration. You're gonna have to make sure that you configure it in a way that allows for scans, or configure the scanner in a way that allows to understand whatever environment it's performing a scan on. Okay, what's going on here? I don't know what's going on here. I don't know what I was doing here. I have my sources all mixed up for some reason. Testing binary packages, repository bullseye doesn't have testing. I don't know what I'm doing. That sucks. Oh, here we go. Guess I was screwing with this somehow for some reason. Alright, try this again. So in Debian, the repositories have a configuration. That configuration is in this sources .list file. And so because there's several different versions, you can connect your system to any of those versions. And so that's what that sources.list is just me connecting to whatever the instances that I want to connect to. So Bullseye is the latest beta release, I believe. And so it doesn't have all of the same repositories and whatnot in software as, say, the previous stable version, which was Buster, if that makes any sense. Let's see here. All right. User manuals. We'll go there, read up on some of this while it's working. So back to the scanning. So when you do a scan and you come up with all the different findings, we've kind of touched on findings, vulnerability, severities, and whatnot. And it's basically everything is going to come up, every system is going to come up with a series of vulnerabilities that need to potentially get looked at. And associated with that is going to be some sort of risk level or severity that you can document to say, hey, how bad is this? What do I need to fix first? And the idea is you would compile all of that together after you scan all of your systems, and then compare that to those STIGs that we talked about previously. We can do it through those SCAPs by automatically doing it, or we can manually do it. So for example, if a STIG says you're supposed to ensure that passwords are complex or something like that, well, if there's a OpenVAS check that checks for password complexity, then we would mark that off. There's not going to be a one-for-one match in many cases, so it's just going to be additional findings a lot of times, or you're going to have to use your intuition or understanding of the system to mark things as open or closed or whatever, if that makes any sense. Let's see, why is not Greenbone? So, and for those who know Nessus, Nessus has kind of like a scanner, and then it has a security center in the back end. Security center kind of is the website that kind of can coordinate and get you nice graphs of everything, and so you can have multiple scanners and feed it up to the security center. I would consider the Greenbone Security Manager similar to that function. There's going to be the Openvos scanner that can run on several different systems, and then the Greenbone Security Manager will be the kind of the coordinating interface that allows you to run reports and do whatever you need. Let's see. That's one thing that is always somewhat annoying about open source stuff, is it seems like it's always so much more complicated than non-open source tools. It's like you can't just install and run it. You have to go through all these random things. So hopefully it won't be too complicated. It's been a while since I've messed with this, so hopefully bear with me. I was hoping this would go a little faster. I should have just installed it beforehand, but it's all good. So let's go ahead and let me see if there's any other tools that we want to use while this is running. I want to say, did I get a SCAP viewer last time? Oops. see. Scout Workbench. I think that was the thing that didn't work. Stick Viewer. Yeah, so I can view the results through Stick Viewer if I want. Let's see what we're going to scan. We're going to scan a Linux box. So let me see if I can... Actually, let me stand up a Windows box to scan. That way it's more obvious for everybody else. Microsoft server. I guess there's no Windows 10 things in here. Okay, we'll just do this then. Okay, so I'm gonna just run Microsoft server killer launch instance. We'll see that way we can have a Linux box to scan and a Windows box to scan while this is running. Oh, I could also try to go ahead and do Google as well. I was playing with that. Let me see if I can. So there was previously I talked about doing VMs in AWS, in Azure, and in Google. I didn't finish creating something in Google, but I wanted to at least walk through what the process would be. Let's see. So when you create a Google Cloud computing account, you're pretty much going to come to this little dashboard, and you can go to the console, and just like AWS, just like Azure, there's 1,000,001 possible functions, and they're over here on the left hand side, similar to the rest of them. I found that I would say that it looks to me that Google and Amazon have the most functions outside of standard VM solutions. For example, with Google Cloud, you get a ton of other tools like the AI computing and the identity access. So like if I wanted to create a credential system and have all of my systems point to Google to get credentialed and whatnot. I guess Microsoft does that too through its federated services. So they all do it, but the AI platform is a huge piece that the rest of them don't have. I know AWS is working on it. It has some aspects, but Google is super extensive. So if you want to link your system to custom AI processing and whatnot, you can do that, but you can do that regardless of whether you have a VM or not. So just a lot of interesting tools. So the first thing you would do, and this is something that I feel like is not as good as in Google, is that there's so many things that you can do that when you do find it, there's not an easy back and forth that I was able to see. So anyway, if I want to create a VM, I would go Compute Engine VM instances. And similar to everything else, you can put them in groupings. You can manage your disks and images and all that other stuff. But you would literally just hit Create Instance and walk through very similar settings as you would in Amazon and Azure. Determine where you're going to host that. Where do you want that image to be hosted? What how strong or big of a computer that you want. Do you want it to be focused on memory, computing, or just general? You can talk about how much the cores you want. There's pricing sheets that I've seen compare Google to Amazon and everything, and it looked like they were very similar pricing to Azure as well. Let's see, pricing comparison, Google, Azure, Amazon. I remember seeing like a little chart somewhere. This might have been it. Yeah, so general purpose, it looks like, at AWS 19 cents, 16 cents, 21 cents for a similar box, I guess. So, I mean, it's different. It's more expensive at Google for whatever reason, but I think that it also depends. They didn't break down the different operating systems and whatnot. I don't know if that matters. In AWS, it does. If you have a Windows box, it's going to be more per hour based on whatever computing platform you have. So anyway, let's see, how far are we? Okay, it's still working. So choose whatever type you want. You can make things, this confidential computing service, I'm assuming, is that you basically have a dependent instance, like in AWS, a dedicated system that looks like this is what it is a more dedicated service that's not shared. Deploy container image to this VM instance. I don't know why you would do that here versus do it manually. Boot disk, you can, let's see, can you choose from here? Okay, sent, container, deep learning on Linux, Red Hat, Windows. Okay, so you have a bunch of different options, just like in Microsoft. I would say this is different than AWS. Again, looks like it's a little more specific on the stuff you can use, but maybe AWS is similar, and it's really that it just doesn't show it that way. But let's see, what's a random, let me see if there's like, what's that, what's a system that's not one of these? How about Slackware? Let's just try Slackware. Nothing for Slackware. What about Android? OpenVPN. Yeah, so maybe random Android potentially. Let's see what else. What's another system that people use? I'm not brain farting right now. There's so many other systems out there, but so it looks like there's more options in AWS. Lots of random options out there. Like I know that, for example, we can install Cisco switches and virtual appliances and stuff on here, whereas obviously that is not available here. So same with Azure. So I think it's for whatever reason, it's just obvious that AWS has a lot more options if you really want to get into some weird computing, at least from a VM perspective. Let's see, so let's go ahead and blah, 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 management security, networking security. works. So that's it. So there's a whole bunch of different options, of course, that you can choose. And again, getting into security, getting into network configuration, I haven't even started down that path yet, because obviously all of that does matter. And at some point I will get there, but again, each one of these environments has a lot of different options. So I wanted to make sure that when I do approach that, we really go through it properly, because it's just going to be a lot to make sure that each one of these groups are configured in such a way that it has its virtual network, and it has all of the appropriate configurations that they recommend to do for security purposes. They do have the same firewalls and everything else, just like AWS and Azure. Here, let me see if I can get to it. That was something that I recall being a little bit annoying, is for whatever reason, like, I don't see where to get directly to the firewall. So like if I select this, let's see, I don't know. Like so in AWS, let's just go to instance. There's several different ways to get to, say, your firewall information. It's all right here. You can say, okay, what's your security information? Here's straight firewall. In this, when you click on an instance, it gives you your network information, but it's not like, I don't know, here it says firewalls, but there's an actual firewall section that you can go to here. There we go. So if you view the network details, then you can go to your firewall. So in this case, here's the firewall. Here I have my own IPs and everything being accepted. Let's see, how do I go back? That's another thing, is now that I'm in this section, there's not an easy way to go back, which is strange, right? I don't know. Do you guys see it? I'm blind. I guess I can just hit the back button, but yeah, to me, that's a little weird. Oh, geez. So now it's like I just have to go all the way back to VM instances. Yeah, so I mean, I guess like there's this little pin thing that I can put. So I mean, I could pin certain things here. That way I can just go back and forth to them. I guess that would be the ideal way to do it. But anyway, so yeah, so a few different interesting options and viewing ways in Google. Not quite as normal to me, but whatever. Oh man, let's see, this thing is still going. All right, so let's continue to try and connect to this guy. So set Windows password, let's see. All right, so let's see what happens. Okay, why did that get copied? Okay. All right, so I copied my password. Let's go ahead and connect to this deal. Let's see if, what do I have? Do I have our desktop or something? X3 RDP. I don't remember the command. Oh, come on. will find that as you guys are doing this, you use the man pages, use everything. You don't have to remember every single thing. For those who do, great, good for you guys. But all right, here we go. X free RDP user and V, U for user, V for box. X free RDP, U for user, cyberspec live, V for box, and the box is 35.232.58.126. And it's potentially loading. Yes. And I'll paste password. All right. And we're in. Okay. So that wasn't too bad. Oh, this is Windows Server Console only. Huh. I don't think I've ever used Windows Server Console in the 2019 and all that. All right, let's see what we got here. So it's like a bunch of PowerShell commands, I'm assuming. Let's just, let's do next. Okay. Just trying to see what type of random stuff is on here. Looks like it's pretty standard services for Windows. Let me see. Windows 2019 command line base. Let me see if there's like, can I do that? No? Yeah, I guess there's no Windows. Command line, create web server. Let's see what it would. Okay, so there's that type of stuff. Let's see. Install Windows feature. So I could do that? No? Oh, I have to do it with PowerShell. Well, this isn't a PowerShell. Oh, I guess I can do it like that. Okay, so you would just run everything through PowerShell like this. Interesting. All right, very cool. Kind of like the kind of like a Linux box, except with Windows command line stuff. All right. But yeah, so that's how you do Google Cloud. Hopefully this thing is almost done so we can actually run our stuff. This is taking much longer than I thought. I'm probably not even gonna, yeah, I don't know. Let's install a web server for kicks. Let's see. Web server. I'm assuming. So when we do our scan, hopefully we will see this web server running. I mean, we can obviously look at it ourselves, but maybe see any vulnerabilities or whatever. Let's see. All right, finally. Okay, so Openvos is supposedly running. Let's see. let's see what we got. Okay, so I have no idea what the default port is. I guess it might be 5432 or 6379. I don't know what those are. All right, let's go to our OpenVAS docs here. And we'll go to connect. Connecting. You know what? I think I might have to just do Debian OpenVAS install. Okay, so we do our installation, blah, blah, blah. Oh my goodness, git clone. What? Debian OpenVAS install from repository. How about that? OpenVAS setup. Okay, there we go. OpenVAS setup. No. Okay, there's no OpenVAS setup command. Let's just search. Let's see where OpenVAS is. OpenVAS scanner, OpenVAS. It's actually interesting. So looks like the regular scanner is installed, but okay, the green bone thing probably isn't. So let's see. Green bone. Okay, that might be as well. What is this? Okay, yeah, I'm totally lost. All right, let's see what's going on here. All right, so for Debian, install. Okay, so did I not install everything I needed? Let's say a Greenbone security system is apt search Greenbone security. Okay. Okay, well that's super annoying. So I am, for those who don't know, the aptitude is like a auto resolving package managing tool for Debian. So the apt-get is more of a direct, hey, you just install it, it'll tell you if you can or can't do stuff. It will try and do some things for you, but the aptitude, as you can see, like in this last thing, there was a package conflict, and so in aptitude, it's going to try and figure out what to do for those package conflicts and then just do it for you. So I don't have to think about it, even though I probably should. But yeah, I'm just going to download it that way. So it's saying, hey, remove these things and then reinstall other stuff. Let's see if there's other solutions. Okay, I'm kind of confused because it's saying that I need to uninstall OpenVAS to install Greenbow. I don't know. So I'm probably going to just do... Yeah, I don't know. I might just come back to this at another time. Let's see what time it is. It's already 9:40. Wow. So we've gone through Google Cloud. At least we did something useful today. And I will go back and finish installing OpenVAS, and we can add stuff later. I mean, we can go through it at another time. I'll just go through this since I hate going through this live with you guys and just waiting. There's plenty of other things to talk about, but since I am not really in the right state of mind to know what to talk about right now, I'm just gonna say that is it for now. So sorry about the OpenVAS thing. I'm gonna edit the information on here to just say that we installed a server on Google Cloud Platform this time, so that you guys can kind of at least see what Google Cloud is. Something to note with Google Cloud is everything is managed by projects, and I think that I like the way that Google Cloud separates projects better than AWS and Azure so far. You can create as many projects as you want, and then you set the permissions to that project specifically. And for whatever reason, the other ones don't do that, right? Azure, you have to set up different domains, and then those different domains are, completely separate. But at the same time, you have to manage the billing between them and stuff like that. In AWS, you can create as many VPCs as you want, which are separate networks. But if I wanted just its own another instance, complete different instance that's contained by itself, I'd have to create another AWS account and then import it into AWS as another project or another group in my organization. So you would have literally two different root AWS logins that just happen to be connected with one AWS organization. Whereas Google Cloud Platform, it's just you create your different project, assign whatever permissions you want to that project, and call it a day. So I think that I like that a little bit better. I don't like the links between the interfaces the same. I think I'm definitely much more comfortable in AWS right now, but I could see Google potentially becoming something that I use more often. So I do other programming and the AI stuff, so I make use of that already. So I don't know, it might be good. Anyway, so that's all we got for now. If you got questions, let me know. I know this wasn't the best, but at least it gives you something that I don't really see as much, just doing some of these basic things. Do it for yourself. It's simple. And let me know if you got any questions. All right, thanks. And stay tuned for next time.